Sanbonan Bafetu, and welcome back to Football Trends with me, OQP. Hey, Bafetu, on today's live stream, I'm just going to be brief in terms of things that are happening, especially football. So, first things first, let me just start with the PSL and Betway. So, it looks like PSL they will no longer be partnering up with DStv Premiership. So, angazuti yobizwa ngani manje, but the Betway is going to be the official sponsor for PSL. So, I'm not sure ukuthi bazoyibiza nge-Betway Premiership or kuzoyenzakalani. Angazi bafethu, for now we still have to wait and hear as time goes on ukuthi kuzoyenzakalani in terms of PSL nayo ke Betway. But one thing I can tell you is that DStv Premiership is no longer going to be partnering with the PSL. So I don't know in terms of igama, but we're going to have to wait and see. And obviously, the new logo, maybe it's going to be there. But let's just move on from that. From Usiyabonga Ngezane, the former Kaizer Chiefs player known as Usiyabonga Ngezane. He was not a left back, he was a defender. Sereno, and currently FCSB Yakichima Bafetu, I don't wanna lie, he's lifted like 2 trophies in one season. In one season, he's lifted like 2 trophies, and into Begashlewi and he was in Kaizer Chiefs, but currently it looks like he's performing very well. And yeah, taking a look at what is happening, Umfana got a new deal. It looks like there's a club that wants to sign him, and if that club by him sign, I think it's a club from Azerbaijan, I'm not sure, Ikamalayo. If they decide to sign him, obviously Kaizer Chiefs is going to benefit in terms of this, because they still have a 10% sell on clause that they agreed with the FCSB. So then Kaizer Chiefs, they stand to profit at least 10% from whatever that amount of money. And Azerbaijan to the club corner, I'm not sure if Azerbaijan is the club or there's a name of the club, but if ever they sign Usiyabonga Ngezane, Kaizer Chiefs is going to benefit a lot because they pay a lot. You know, those are my teams lawa angale peshe abafethu. You guys know. And then also we have something about Asanele Velebayi. You remember, guys, I've reported Uti Kaizer Chiefs, they've asked Captain Spurs to name their price for Asanele Velebayi. And taking a look at things currently, it looks like Abagaba Penduli, but already there's a problem. Why there's a problem? Stellenbosch FC currently now they are looking at the services of Asanele Velebayi. So it looks like probably they might beat Kaizer Chiefs to it, but we will see as time goes on if Kaizer Chiefs, they are really going to sign this young player. He's a left winger, he can also play as a right winger, and also at an attacking midfielder. He's very young. I think I did a video about him in terms of his quality in Nalokogunya. But I do have a question. Imagine I told the answer corner. You guys, there's Gaston Sirino. Gaston Sirino is 33, actually 34. I think he's 34. And then there's Asanele. Both of those players are, according to transfer markets, they are right wingers. Okay, and also we have Donny Jansen. But question I have is, with Gaston Sirino, he has much more quality, but there's something that we're going to talk about later on this video in terms of Gaston Sirino. And then Asanele Velebayi is very young. To be honest, for me personally, I don't know much about him. I know him quality, but I don't know much about this young player. So in terms of the age, obviously Asanele does take the cup, but Gaston Sirino has that much quality and he's a proven player. But there's a problem. Because you guys and some of other people, they say Sereno is not needed that much at Lapini, because if ever they sign Asanele, obviously they can't sign both of them. It's either they sign Asanele or they sign Gaston Sirino. And Gaston Sirino currently is a free agent. Asanele Velebayi I'm not too sure about him because Cape Town Spurs, that situation, you know. But anyways, you can let me know down in the comment section below. What do you think in terms of those two players? And there's something that I've seen with Andile Ngobe. They say Gaston Sirino I shouldn't go to any club. He should just retire. I follow in the footsteps of Uitumile Mkhune. Angaz ku-2019 lapho emakhaya bafethu. You can let me know down in the comment section below. Let's just take a look at this.
I'm not really, to be honest.
Really?
Not just no disrespect to him as a player, but we just spoke about it now. We spoke about players who've gone beyond their peak and then
team mark.
I'm not really, to be honest.
Really?
Not just no disrespect to him as a player, but we just spoke about it now. We spoke about players who've gone beyond their peak and then teams sign them at that point. Is Sereno gonna peak? Is he beyond his peak? Are we still gonna see the Sereno of old that was dominating the league? I think unfortunately those years are behind him. So I think he's now on and you know, I say this very respectfully because I hope for the best and I never wish any player to get worse or whatever. But is he gonna get better from this point on, or is he is his career
on the decline?
You know, on the decline? Is it?
I call it the evening of your career. It's not daylight anymore. It's the evening.
And I feel like that's possibly why maybe teams have learned from the mistakes of the past, and so maybe that's why he's not getting those calls.
Najib, Sereno?
It will be like, why will Chiefs or Pirates sign a player like Sereno who has not even played much in the past 2 seasons? Based on what? Because they were aware that his contract was expiring. In January, they were already going to go for a pre-contract if they wanted him. The fact that most teams in the PSL have not gone for him, it just shows that they are not sure if it can be a solution. Sometimes I feel like players like Kamohelo Mkojo who went to Skokune to prove himself that he can still play. Now he's at Cape Town City. He needs to go that route because it didn't help him that Rulane and Mangoba Mngeti were not playing him for the past 3 or 2 seasons, solid season. He was not a starter at Sundowns. It didn't improve his career. For now, for Chiefs to sign him or for Orlando Pirates, I don't even think that he can improve the team. They've already got better materials. I don't think it's going to be that kind of an elite player that we can say we've got Sereno. It's going to be a game changer.
Hi, Pro, come, take me out of my misery. Am I overestimating who I think is still a highly talented player?
Sereno, I think if you listen to if you hear the names that are also in the market looking for clubs, you'll hear that Kick and Tony is also looking for a club to sign him. And for me, I think it's going to be difficult for him. If he's still going to think he's going to get Sundowns wages at other clubs, I think it's going to be a problem. If he comes cheaper, maybe a team like Pirates and a team like Kaizer Chiefs might consider him. But I don't think football-wise, Sereno is going to offer any club anything in terms of winning the championship.
Hey, nezizwelo bafethu, nezizwelo kuyakhalwa ngoSereno ukuthi he should just quit football, retire nje, because already mdala and he's not going to be able to give us that much. And I don't know, but I've seen some players who are still performing very well, even though iminyaka yabo they're very, very high, like in age, in terms of age, baba khulu badala, but they're still performing very well. Kodwa I hear you guys when you say ukuthi obviously we need a player that is going to give us more, you know, in terms of contract and everything, and not someone who's just going to pass by. Because if I take a look at it, Njoba Nisho, when they sign Sereno, they can sign him if ever he performs. He's going to perform. Maybe he is going to give us 2 years, a performer for that 2 years, and 2 years later maybe he can give us one of the best 2 years, and then later on Omonta retire. So it's not going to be solid because Tina currently we are building, so we need a strong foundation. We need someone who's going to give us much. And Yanizo Fetu, I understand. And taking a look at this here, my comments, I think we have 2 comments from Usiam Tanda Doni. Says, I would suggest not to sign Sereno and instead sign Velebayi to be set for long term. And then Oachome Rase says, we need players that will be at Chiefs for at least 3 years. Sereno won't last for longer. Yeah, that's true. And then Oachome Rase says, we should not sign players that were no longer playing at the previous clubs, just like Bongani Sam, who was no longer playing at Pirates. You make sense. That makes sense, because the players that we currently have are Urashun Totli, I think he was playing. and then Untwari was playing, except for Bonganisem. Bonganisem was already a reject from Orlando Pirates. I believe he was a reject because he was not getting any game time from Orlando Pirates. And then Utembisile Mbujana says Olaba for when the league starts. League, I'm not too sure, but definitely it was supposed to start in August. Maybe bazo delay because of this new sponsorship. So but I will let you know as soon as I have more details. And then yeah, I think this is it. Buffet 2, I just wanted to give you those updates. Later on.